Hello everyone, this is the Grotesque Dino, and today I got a locomotive that I wanted to review over the past 3 weeks. I just come back from vacation and it was great. Went around the Northeast, but today I got an interesting locomotive. This is an L1s from the Pennsylvania Railroad. I got this for, I would say, a decent price on eBay. Obviously, they aren't making these at the moment. Who knows if they'll make them in Paragon 4. They only made one, I don't know if they made 2 runs of these, but really it was like 1 run, and they were Paragon 3. That's the earliest that they made them. So they only had like 1 or so runs of these. This is a Diecast locomotive. The boiler's die-cast. I'm not sure if everything is die-cast, but as far as I know, the boiler's die-cast, roof is die-cast, and the tender's die-cast. So there's a lot of die-cast parts on this. This is pretty much a die-cast hybrid model with plastic, I think, parts with it. I'm not sure if it's brass, but I think it's a die-cast hybrid, just like my other K4 that I got from Broadway Limited, the streamlined one from 1938. This locomotive has unique sounds. I'm not sure how many times in Paragon 3 they changed the sounds around, because usually when it comes to sounds, they were like rather universal, I guess, as some people would say, but this one has unique sounds. This will probably be my last like Paragon 3 engine from here on out, since Paragon 4, from what I've seen, is superior in like a lot of different ways. There should be 2 more engines coming when they arrive. I'll do a review on those to see how well the Paragon 4s handle up. I only have 1 Paragon 4 right now, and that's my Dreyfuss Hudson. But anywho, this is a review on this engine, and if you look at the firebox and the boiler, you can see that compared to the K4, it's pretty much the same thing. Now, as far as you understand, I know that the Pennsylvania Railroad did have a locomotive locomotive class that shared boilers, and this is like the closest they got to interchangeability with steam engines parts. Usually steam engines are like custom built and tailor fitted for what the buyer wants, and they usually have every single design. There's like no uniform design that shares parts, and it's just interesting how the K4 and the L1s pretty much have the same boiler. You might think, well, no, some of the proportions here are different than that one, and yada yada yada, but as far as I can tell, they look pretty much the same thing, except they've been rearranged. Some of the parts have been rearranged for the different chassis. I could be wrong. It's just me looking at this, and I think, did they share parts with each other? But indeed they did. They shared the boiler. It's interesting. But I'll move my K4 out of the way, which is a Bachmann. So yeah, the detail on this engine is pretty good. I'll take it off. Got some undercab details. Now, a lot of people have been saying that, there's a gap here. Personally, that doesn't bother me, but if you're like a detail nut and you don't like seeing, no detail, yeah, that's going to bother you a bit, but it doesn't really bother me that much. There's a drive gear, some piping details above. The front truck, I got a dog barking. Some forward detail. It's got some classification lights. Same with the rear classification lights. Let me try and get this uncoupled. Gotta try and get the... Now, I'll be honest, getting the tether out of this one is a pain in the butt. That's what I don't like about these things sometimes. There we go. Yeah, there's some back head detail with some crew figures. There's no drop plate, which I think is weird. The M here. Silly cats. They always want to know what you're up to. And then you got the other side. Got some air pumps to pump in the water into the boiler. There's the other side of the detail. Now this is the pre-1946 version. I'm more of like a post-war one when it comes to Pennsylvania. Some people don't like the headlight in front of the smokestack and like the dynamo, which is usually where the headlight is for the post-war. And they have like this platform right in front of the smoke box door, which is okay. I mean, this is a really pretty heavy model. I mean, the tender's die-cast. The pickups on these are pretty good. I haven't had a problem running this engine around my layout for a bit. There was no cutting out and like, you know, sounds or it's stopping like my other Paragon 3 engines did when I got them. This is actually like my most successful Pennsylvania Paragon 3 engine. I can argue that I know I have a Paragon 3 engine. Oh yeah, when I got my T1 fixed, it handled this well. I'm going to put this back on the ground and try and plug in the thing again, tether. This is a pain in the butt. I might have to put this out of shot. Today we're going to be pulling... I already broken this engine. We're going to be pulling Bowser boxcars. Some people love them, some people hate them. I like them. They're cheap. They look nice and they roll really well. So that's why I got those. You know, it's interesting that the gappage, this is like the furthest away gappage, which is pretty good, but then when you get the prong closer, it's like almost way too close. And I feel like, you know, it's unnecessary to have like another choice of how close you want your, you know, how close you want your drawbar to be for your tender and a cab. But that's okay. So we're going to couple those up. We're going to go through the sound features. I'm going to turn my camera a bit with my new tripod that I got for it. We're going to start up the engine. And F9. Got some birds, some ambient sounds. I like that. Now, this is actually a unique startup because of the ambient sounds. So I have the smoke off. I usually never run my smoke. It just depends on the engines and whatnot. Cat, no. Go out of here. Gotta love cats, right? I mean, they're amazing, but they can be pain in the butts. I think a lot of cat owners would know that. Anywho, we got classifications lights on, cab out lights, headlights on, which I could remove the engine. We'll see that. We got rear headlight on too on the tender. Again, the detail looks great. You got the cab roof that opens and closes, the vents, and yeah, the sounds. Let's check out the sounds. Hey, somebody's like, this is really loud. When I first got this engine.
All right, I'm here. Go ahead. Yeah, when we get to the junction, we're going to have to make a switch. We got two engines set off there, so I'm not sure if we're going to clear that circuit or not.
I'm going to turn off the sounds for the talking.
Have you got DOT on your train? We're all fixed up here and ready to go. Okay, it all depends on whether or not I can get the switch lined up. So call back to your train and signal comes to the
I'm still talking. Right? Okay, so I went to default sound, master volume, and factory setting is really loud because the guy who had it before, I couldn't see what the CV value was, but it was awfully low for the overall volume. Now, I don't like my steam engine super loud. If I put this to max setting, oh my god, this thing would be as loud as the real thing. And I would probably rupture the speakers or something like that over time. Anywho, we'll go to the functions. F0 is the headlight, which we already worked with. F1 is the bell. I like that brass bell. Sounds really good. And you got the whistle F2. I like it too. It's one of those freight whistles that the Pennsylvania used, single chime banshee whistles as they would call them. F3 is coupler slack. We got to move the engine just to show that. There you go. Air pump is F4. You can hear it in the background. It's not as loud for some reason. F5 is when I'm stopped. I do a blowdown, so it's really loud. Just like in real life, it's really loud when a steam engine does a blowdown. F6 is when stopped to water fill, where you don't really need it because there's no water towers or anything. So we're just going to pretend there's no need for water. F7 is the smoke unit on and off. I keep it off, and the locomotive switches on and off too. F9 is the startup shutdown sequence, which we already did. F10 is the coal auger. Now I'm guessing the coal auger is actually the stoker that's making that sound or something. I don't know. We got water injectors. Turn that off. We got brake set for F12. F13's grade crossing horn. It's alright. You just use a regular whistle. In my opinion, I would use that. F14's passenger announcements. Pretty standard. F15's freight announcements, which we already heard. That was drowning my voice out. F16's maintenance sounds.
Place the switch in hand, throw it back and forth a couple times, line it main to main. Let me see if I can get you a signal. Can't work.
F17's radio sounds. Which, I don't think radios sound like that back in the 40s. I could be wrong, who knows. Let's see, we've got F18 city backgrounds.
Easy pickers at 34, they're a little too close. So in order to clear the crossing. Look out your window in the black SUV.
Look out your window, it's a black SUV. Yeah. So this is really for like modern engines and whatnot. F19 got farm.
These doggies are all loaded. Are we going to be able to fill with water and feed
F19 probably makes sense the most.
Pull in the center, Sonny. Okay.
Cat's trying to play with me. F20 is industrial backgrounds. That's some like other sounds and whatnot. We got F22, which toggles the other horn. I don't know what that whistle is. Maybe somebody could tell me what the alternative whistle is in the comments down below. I'm going to turn that back. F23 is track sounds, which is when it moves, it makes a clickety-clack. Auxiliary light control is F24. Doesn't really do anything. F25 is long whistle. Now I'm gonna play that again. So, if anybody knows, that's actually the real whistle that's actually playing for F25 for the long whistle, and that's actually in a video in the H10s memories video. Not really a memories video, but like audio video for the H10s on YouTube, and you'll hear that whistle. And you'll probably be like, did BLI like go into this video and take that sound? I don't know. They probably got like the official like stuff from the archives or something. But yeah, it's interesting that they had the legit real single chime Pennsy whistle. And then F26 is play record, and then 27 is record stop. F28. I'm going to turn that off. Oh, I don't know why. Oh well. Good to hear the grade crossing whistle again. Alright, so since we went through all the functions, one thing left to do is to run the engine, see how she runs. I'll probably change the camera angle like this. There we go, so you can see the engine come around the corner. Oh, well, I guess it finally didn't like the track. Now the chuffing sounds really good in my opinion, but when it goes up to speed it just sounds weird. So yeah, after this run, I'll definitely have to do a track cleaning session with my other trains. Yeah, that's my first issue. I guess it finally did not like the dirt on the tracks. But right out of the box when I got it, no problems, no issues. So I'm guessing after running it for a bit, dirt got spread around again, and then Paragon 3 picks up every single piece of like speck of dirt, and it basically tells the engine to stop. But this one's going. But yeah, at speed it just sounds so weird. My cat's chasing a silverfish. It's funny. He might come into view. There he goes. He's looking for that silverfish. But yeah, I mean, this engine, for what you get, I mean, I got it for around $330. Don't buy anything of this engine for $400 plus. I saw some on eBay, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen some that were like $500. Some people are asking. I'm like, why are you guys asking for MSRP prices? You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, they only probably been made once as a run, but it doesn't mean they're not going to make them again. Hence the the new ATSF engines that they were making, the Mikados that they made for ATSF, and who knows if they'll make those again. I think they will, and I think they will make the L1s again. So, you know, if you have it near new, it should still lose value. Unless it's not gonna be made ever again, like the Q2, for example. I mean, those were like around $600, you know, when they came out 10 years ago almost. So, just if you want to get an L1 for your Pennsylvania Railroad, just be patient. I've seen two. There was two of them that were on eBay that I was looking at. The one I got, 2911, was $330. Someone was trying to do a bid for an L1S, and it didn't sell. They were asking for about $300, pretty much. And they're probably wondering why I didn't get that one. Reason why is because I already got this one when that one came out. So, I don't know if anybody got it. Somebody probably did, and I hope they're really happy with it, because this is a nice engine. One day, I guess when the Paragon 3 craps out on this, I'll probably go with Paragon 4 and upgrade it to Paragon 4. Just because, you know, I really like that, how they fixed it up a bit. I haven't played with the train long enough to really tell you, you know, what I mean is my Dreyfuss Hudson. I haven't played with it long enough to really figure out how great it really is. But I can tell you this. If your club has like a really dirty and old layout, and you know, well, not just really dirty, but like, yeah, so if your club is like old and whatnot, sometimes the connections are not the best thing. It doesn't matter how well you clean it. Sometimes it's just, you know, people forget where to fix certain spots. I could tell you this: if my Bachmann K4 with TCS WOW can handle the entire layout without even stopping. I mean, it did derail once, but it wasn't, you know, the drive wheels or the tender or anything, whatever trailing track. It was actually the front pilot wheels. I have to figure out what's going on with that. But other than that, that engine just runs on that layout as if it was just my oval right here. I'm pretty sure my Dreyfuss Hudson would probably do the same thing and just keep going. I mean, when I was testing it a couple weeks before I left, I brought it to the club and I tried it out, and it was working in the sidings, which wasn't really cleaned much because we don't really use the sidings during fair operations. So, but yeah, I have to say the Paragon 3 L1s is a really great locomotive. I like the sounds. I like the slow chuffing sounds. It just doesn't sound right as it goes faster, but I don't really care. It's a nice locomotive. The details are great. The shells are both die-cast, the engine and the tender, which is really nice. I'm surprised you didn't just do die-cast hybrid after that. I'm really surprised. Probably because of cost or because this is a unique locomotive that they went with die-cast, I guess. I mean, the marker lights are amazing. I really like the marker lights glowing and whatnot. It makes it feel like an O-gauge model. The cola, again, the details look amazing. I'm pretty sure there's some inaccuracies, but to me, what I see right now, it fits the idea of what the L1S is. I mean, look, I like the Bachmann K4S, and that doesn't have the most detail ever, and including these box cars, you know, I mean, they're not the most detailed, but to me, it captures what the prototype in general looks like. And again, if you want an L1S that's not brass and it's already painted, you don't have to pay like a lot of money. I mean, the L1 in brass is not that much, as I heard. It's about the same price as is, interesting enough, but you get the DCC and sound already, and it's already painted, and it looks good already painted. It's got that dark green lacquer locomotive engine or whatever. I call it dark green lacquer enamel because back then it was lacquer and enamels, lacquer enamels the paint. But yeah, I have to say this engine is I mean, the drive is definitely going to last a long time. I can tell the really slow pulling. It's got a 5-pole motor in there. The drivetrain should be really good as well. I mean, I know a couple guys who have the L1 and they say it's a great runner. And I'd love to actually go into the mechanism and unscrew the bottom and show the gears and whatnot and see what we're working with. But I think I'm running out of time. I'll probably do like some videos in the future, a separate series where I do like you know, mechanical checkups and whatnot and look at the mechanical side of these locomotives. So I would rate the L1S by Broadway Limited, the Paragon 3, a 9 out of 10. Personally, the reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because, you know, again, the chuffing at high speed could be a pain in the butt. Well, not really a pain in the butt, but what I mean is, like, it doesn't sound that really great. Everything else, the sounds are amazing. It's cool that it has smoke. It doesn't really need it. It looks great. It runs great. And the one other thing is the lack of a capacitor. I know some people are like, well, you gotta clean your track, and you know, it's gotta clean your local, and I get that. It's really important. I respect that too, and that's what I try to do. You know, every once in a while I go to the club. They have a track cleaning and testing section. I need to do that myself and get that set up. But in the meantime, I got what I got until further notice. But yeah, I'd like to have a capacitor in it, just because it can operate on any layout. That's the reason why I wanted to have full reign over any layout, no matter how old it is and how badly, you know, your club members wire things sometimes. But it is what it is. Anyways, this is the L1S review by Broadway Limited, and this is Grotesque Dino signing out once again.